A very good morning, children. Welcome back. Children, today we shall take up a very important topic in grammar, that is simple, compound and complex sentences. Now, many of you may find this topic difficult. Some of you may find it easy. Now, very important in grammar is you should know the rules. Once you know the rules, you should practice more sentences and then you will be able to solve any sentences. So today we shall just take up what is simple, what is compound and what is complex sentences. Okay, so let's begin. Now there are three types of sentences that we know. That is simple sentence, compound sentence and complex sentence. Now what is a simple sentence? A simple sentence contains a subject, verb pair. It expresses a complete thought. It has a subject and a predicate. Okay, so it's a simple, by the word itself, simple. She spoke, subject, predicate. Okay, open the door. Here there is no subject, so you have to presume that there's a subject, you. You open the door. So you subject, open the door, predicate. Sonam is an architect. Subject, Sonam is an architect, predicate. She placed the bouquet on the table. She, subject, placed the bouquet on the table. Okay, that is predicate. So you can notice the verb here. Okay, it's one finite verb. Spoke, open, is, placed. Alright. So these are simple sentences. What is a compound sentence then? A compound sentence has two or more independent clauses. I repeat, independent clauses joined by coordinating conjunctions. So compound sentence, it has two or more independent clauses. Now let's understand this, what it is. Now if the sentence here says, I am a teacher, but my wife is a lawyer. Okay, I am a teacher. It makes sense by itself, children. Yes, so it is independent clause. My wife is a lawyer. It makes sense by itself. Okay, now these two are independent clause which are joined by a coordinating conjunction, that is but. Okay, so they are joined by but, a coordinating conjunction. Now next, she tried to lift the suitcase, but it was too heavy. Now, she tried to lift the suitcase. Does it make sense? Yes. It has an independent clause. It was too heavy. Yes. It refers to what? Suitcase. It was too heavy. Makes sense, no? So it is independent, okay, clause. And is joined by but. That is coordinating conjunction. He did not have enough cash, so he paid by credit card. He did not have enough cash. It makes sense by itself. It's independent clause. He paid by credit card also makes sense by itself. So independent clause again, and is joined by coordinating conjunction. We can take a bus to the park. It makes sense? Yes, independent. Or we can just walk there. We can just walk there also makes sense by itself. So independent. So independent clause joined by coordinating conjunction. What is the coordinating conjunction? Or. Okay, so compound sentences are formed by using coordinating conjunction. Remember that for compound sentence we have what? Coordinating conjunctions. But, so, or. There are some more. Now look at these subordinating conjunction. Now the best way to remember is remember the word fan boys. Now if you remember fan boys, you remember what it stands for. F is for, A is for and, N is for nor, B is for but, O is for or, Y is for yet, and S is for so. So remember this word fanboys, and you have examples given here. This is meanings of what is for means because. So it means that way. Now these words, but I'm talking about fanboys. Remember, these are the coordinating conjunctions. You can go through the sentences. Then, what is a complex sentence? Okay. A complex sentence has a dependent and an independent clause. Now, what do I mean by that? Look at this sentence. When I came home yesterday, I watched TV for an hour. Okay. Now, suppose if I say, when I came home yesterday, does it make sense? No. You see, when I came home yesterday, okay, what you did? No, the question is, when I came home yesterday, okay, fine, it's an incomplete. So, it is what? It is a dependent clause. It is not independent. Okay. But look at this sentence. I watch TV for an hour. I watch TV for an hour. It makes sense. It is independent clause. Okay. So you have one dependent and one independent. Are you understanding? That is in complex sentence. Okay. In complex sentence, you have dependent and independent. In compound sentence, both are independent. Remember that. Then, I love to travel because I get to see many interesting places. Okay. Now here, I love to travel. Okay. It makes sense. Okay. It's a independent. Because I get to see many interesting places, it doesn't make sense. So that is dependent. Okay. So independent, this is dependent. Now let's see the third and fourth sentence, which is independent, which is dependent. Let me know if you need any help. Let me know makes sense by itself. It's independent. And if you need any help, it is doesn't make sense. So dependent. Though I saw her, I did not speak to her. Now, though I saw her, it doesn't make sense, no? So it is dependent. And I did not speak to her, independent, because it makes sense by itself. Okay. So complex sentences are formed by using subordinating conjunctions. Okay. So remember, it is subordinating conjunction because it comes with the it comes with the one which is subordinate clause. Okay. So it is subordinating conjunctions like you have if, until, because, even though, and even some more. Okay. We shall see to that. So you have subordinating conjunctions here. What? When, because, if, and though. Okay. So we have complex sentence, children, even can be formed by using relative clauses like who, that, which, whose, where, when. So you must know all these, which are the relative clauses. Okay. Learn these. Now this is complex sentence. In the complex sentence, we have even relative. We have subordinating conjunctions also, and we have relative clauses also. Like, I know of a friend who loves to play the guitar. Okay, I know of a friend. So here, it makes sense by itself, but who loves to play the guitar doesn't make sense, no? So it is independent and dependent. I am sure that you are doing your best. That you are doing your best. Okay, it is I am sure. I'm sure. So that will be independent, and here it will be dependent. Okay, joined by that. My teacher wants me to deliver a speech for an event, which is tomorrow. Now, my teacher wants me to deliver a speech for an event, that is independent, right? It makes sense. And which is tomorrow doesn't make sense. So it's dependent. So it's joined by what? A relative clause. So let's have a little recap of what we've already done. A simple sentence contains a subject-verb pair. It expresses a complete thought. It's a complete sentence, okay? It has a subject and a predicate. A compound sentence has two or more independent clauses. Children, please remember, compound sentence, independent clause, and they are joined by coordinating conjunctions. And how to remember the coordinating conjunction? I have given you this clue word, fanboys. You must know F stands for what? For, and A for and, that way. Okay, so learn that. Learn this for compound sentences. Okay. Now, compound sentences are formed by using coordinating conjunctions. No, these are all what? Coordinating conjunctions. For, and, nor, but. Okay, or whatever. Then, a complex sentence has a dependent and an independent clause. That is complex. That's why it is called complex. No, it has both. It has dependent as well as independent. Complex sentences are formed by using what? Subordinating conjunctions. And which is the subordinating conjunction? If, until, because, even though. Okay, you have some more too. Which is that? That is relative clauses like who, that, which, whose, where, when. All these are, when they are used, it comes under complex sentences. Okay, so this is a little recap of what we've already done. Now let's try solving an exercise. Okay, it's a simple exercise. Let's do it together. Here you have to determine if each sentence is simple, compound, or complex. Alright, sentences are given to you. The first one is solved. The children wore their dirty boots. Now this is what kind of sentence? It is one verb then or, so it's a simple sentence. Now I want you to take time, just pause this video and then you do it on your own and then you see the correct answers. Okay. So after you have paused, do it and then see the answers. So let's start. It was time for bed, yet it was still light outside. Now if you say it was time for bed, it makes sense. It was still light outside. Both these sentences make sense by itself. So both are what? Independent. So you're joined by what? It is joined by a coordinating conjunction yet. Okay. So what will it be? It will be a compound sentence. Remember, fanboys, why is there? Isn't it yet? So that way you have to learn it. The front door was locked, so she entered through the back. Now the front door was locked makes sense. She entered through the back also makes sense. So again, what is it? Two independent clause. It is compound sentence. They took a lot of pictures when they visited Montana. Now here they took a lot of pictures. Now it doesn't make sense. When? No? When they visited Montana makes sense. This is independent. But they took a lot of pictures when doesn't make sense. So it will be dependent and independent. So this will be what? This will be complex sentence. After the show began, he sat very quietly. He sat very quietly. It is makes sense. But after the show began, it sounds incomplete. So this is dependent and this is independent. So dependent and independent. And the word after is there. So you have here what? It is a complex sentence. The girl was wearing a red dress. Was wearing, here you have a verb. Okay, one verb. So it's going to be a simple sentence. He was playing on his computer. So this too, what you say, it's one verb. Okay, subject and predicate. Yes, simple. George would like to play for he is the best player on the team. So George would like to play. It makes sense. He is the best player on the team. Makes sense by itself. So what will it be? It is two independent clause, children. So when independent clause means what? Is joined by a coordinating conjunction. So what will it be? Compound sentence. Before the bell rings, the student lined up at the door. So the student lined up at the door makes sense. But before the bell rings, it doesn't make sense. So dependent and independent. So what will it be? It will be a complex. We turned off the light. We turned off the light. This is subject and predicate with one verb. So simple. We turned off the light and we went to sleep. We turned off the light makes sense. We went to sleep makes sense. So independent. Two are independent clause. So when there are two independent clause, what is it? Compound sentence. And we turned off the light after our mom told us to go to bed. So after our mom told us to go to bed doesn't make sense. So it is dependent. And we turned off the lights, it makes sense. It is independent. So one independent and one dependent. So what will it be? Complex. So I don't know if you have got it right, if you've done the exercise by yourself and you can check how much right and wrong. Don't get discouraged if you've got less, but it has helped you at least, I hope, to understand what is simple sentence, what is compound and what is complex. So in the next class, children, we will see how we are going to transform, okay? When you transform the compound into simple, complex into simple and the others too, okay? So thank you, children. Do the assignment given to you. Thank you so much for giving me a listening. God bless you.